Oracle. What should they call her? What should they call her? Oracle. He has had an excellent weekend. What's good, Cheerfully Sweet? What's good, Jarek? What's good, Honestly Manifest? Hey, everybody coming in. How is everyone? We are going to get into several things. What's good to Wanda? Okay. And we're going to get into a lot of things. I hope that everybody is doing good. What's good, April? What's good, Shauna? I hope you guys are all holding up well. I know the energy is heavy. And I know if you're following the news, there's a lot to be tense about. And before we get into the elements, you know, I usually do a general energy, but before we even do that, you're so over it. Yeah, me too. Let me get the glasses on so I can follow the conversation. Let's talk about some of the big things that I see right now that we should be monitoring. And then we're going to get into the elements, okay? But I think what's good, Rose? I think a large part of this is also not just kind of, you know, pushing past, right? What's good, Project Execute? What's good, everybody coming in? Okay, so it's like not pushing past all that is happening. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. First off, Saturday there was a deadline for them to explain how exactly they were going to go about bringing someone back, right? And then Sunday they basically said that ain't, you know, it ain't my fault, right? Like they ain't doing nothing about it, which is, you know, that is the marker right there. Okay, because it means that the system has broken down and they're trying to make it look like blase, but this shit ain't blase in any way, shape, or form. Shout out to all the Chinese manufacturers who are blowing the whistle on how things are really made and really done and really outsourced, and how not only the bag is not what they say, but it's not just showing you the corruption in the system, but it's also showing you the sickness and how they've exploited us. I'm just trying to tell y'all better pay attention. I know a lot of y'all are in here like, what's good with Taurus? And we are going to talk about, you know, the elements, but it's so important that you guys understand what's happening energetically, because that touches all of us across lines. Okay. So you had that story. I want you to pay attention because, you know, so much stuff is coming. Pennsylvania governor's mansion, right, gets burnt up. Bro, put the pieces together, right? He's blue, if you're following what I'm saying. They're already trying to put the pressure. Okay, so I want you to think and really think about it. The whistle has already been blown. It's just a silent whistle. All right, what's good, Mel? You need to pay attention. It's already in play. They already sent some people to the border. It's already in play. Okay. I saw one creator that I follow, and she's talking about some visuals that you could get from the sky. There's a ribbon in the sky, right? Some visuals that you can get from the sky on a particular app in that nation where they sent him. And it looks like they might have a field that needs to be examined as to what they have piled up in the back. Do you understand what I just said? What's good, divine leaders? What's good, Goddess Omega 3? Did you hear what I just said? There are aerial images that need to be examined. In that same place, and it looks like behind that area, there needs to be some examination as to what's in the yard and what's that piling up in the yard. You understand? It's time to focus. Now, somebody had said that they thought, dearly beloved, we are gathered here to celebrate life, that, that person had checked out. And I think it's more likely that they would do that now. But I felt like he was. And that person that's in charge of that place is supposed to be coming today to the house, to the big house, to speak to somebody. I'm just saying, pay attention. The end of this week is going to be, woo! Okay? The end of this week is going to be, wow. And it is the tip, where, you know what's happening right now? You know, in the roller coaster, when you go tick, 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 and you're going up and your stomach is like, that's where we're at, dog. For real. That's where we're at. Show me. Here we go. The two cards I'm about to read is the general energy for the collective. Then we're going to get into the elements, okay? Number 24, Puyo. Guardian of the Amuwaka. No matter how compelling an experience of challenge, darkness, or defeat may seem, you have divine protection and the promise of safe passage through to the dawn. You will see and hear the truth of light. You shall not be alone on this journey. Soul guides now help you find your true north. If you have been proceeding along a dangerous path, even unknowingly, Puyo will navigate you safely away from evil and ill wishing, guiding you back to your higher purpose and sacred path. Okay? What's good, Miss Lotus Wisdom? So, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall feel no evil. I'm hearing Psalm 23. I call upon the unconditional love and protection of the Divine Mother. She contains the divine light so that even in darkness, I am completely and divinely protected. I now forgive myself and others for all actions, thoughts, and beliefs that led to the betrayal of the soul. This forgiveness cleanses my heart and my mind, I am now free to honor and respect the sacred order of life and have trust in my rightful divine place within that great order. There is the collapse for the dawn. The collapse for the dawn. And the divine feminine goddess, the creatrix, is like waiting for the aftermath. Okay? To empower the oppressed children. So when she refers to the oppressed children, she means those that have been targeted, the Black and brown, the LGBTQ, the disabled, the divine feminine energy, the two-spirited, those that are in the rainbow collective and not just the LGBTQ. There are some of us that have the aura or come with a, the seven chakra light, right? To hold space and court for all. Okay, what's good, Shaquana? So this is what Spirit is talking about. And that now we will see the toppling of Rainbow Warriors Arising. Yeah, like the toppling of that which fights and oppresses against humanity. I mean, that is a beautiful message. Okay, so we're going to go to what was under the deck. This is the last card for the general energy before I get into, individual elements. Okay, so we have 30, Panthera, the precious and the rare. Okay, so let's see what that says. And I will show you. Okay, Panthera, the precious and the rare. And it says, our faith and optimism are not meant to make us complacent, but to encourage us to believe that our action in the world will have a positive and real effect. There are situations where your voice, your courage, and your fearless determination are needed. You will make a difference. Cast helplessness or despair aside and realize the fighter within. Fight for which needs defending with all of your heart. Do so with compassion and kindness and mercy, but do not yield. What's good, Patel? Okay, it says here as the prayer. The spirit of Black Jaguar reveals my courage, conviction, purpose, and passion. I am freed from constraint. I am made ready in this moment and for all moments to come by the grace of the divine feminine. I am willing to participate fully in my life, to take action upon the divine urgings of my heart for the greatest good. I will not be ashamed and silenced. I will take action every day in whatever ways I can with fierce compassion in my heart and sacred rebellious fire in my belly. For my divine purpose manifests through our willingness, talent, and our faith in ourselves, each other, and the divine. May your loving kindness and creative wisdom render my actions of spiritual benefit to all beings. So be it. Asheo. Let me just say that I feel like we have had a time to mourn. right? And your grief is sacred. What you are feeling, what you are experiencing is sacred. But now, okay, because for months our ancestors have been telling us to go within and create the stillness to see that which was before us and what was really worth. I did a reading with somebody yesterday, and this is it in a nutshell. What was so important to you 6 months ago probably don't even mean nothing to you right now. Because everything that is important, see, that's why this had to happen, so that we could all refocus and examine what are the real things that we value, that we hold sacred, that we hold to be the inalienable truths that each and every one of us in our humanness not only deserve, but require. Okay? I think that was the beginning part of this year. But there's going to be certain things. Thank you guys for all the gifts and the love. I greatly appreciate y'all. I know I be channeling, and then but I got to stay on message, right? But now it's time to be the Panthera and to be the divine feminine, the lioness that works for the pride, right? That protects even the cubs that are not hers. Okay? That is the fierce warrior goddess. All right. Venus retrograde is over. Mars is about to re-enter Leo. This will also reactivate a square with Uranus. We have a lot of action in the house of Aries right now. Okay, we got Neptune, Saturn, Venus is headed back in, Mercury, right? Listen, if it ain't time to stand on business, I don't know when the fuck it will be. Okay. I'm just saying. Aries. I think that y'all my second favorite and I say that because I'm a Taurus, so you already know I'm gonna claim me first, but y'all my second favorite because y'all be with the shits like us. Okay? It's time to link up. All right, so we're gonna start with the fire signs because this is Aries last week to be front and center. And then you know what time it is. It's Taurus gang gang. But we're gonna start with my Aries brethren. Okay, so let's look at Aries, Leo, Sag. Come to the front. Let's see what's happening. What you want to give them, Spirit? A feminine wisdom? Okay, that makes sense. Venus just came out of her retrograde. What's good, Christy? And we're gonna start with thank you. We're gonna start with her, the feminine energy, and see what it is. By Friday, make sure you have your things in your house, okay? Okay? Worry about the, like, I paid some minimum shit this month. I normally don't do that. I usually chunk shit out. I paid the minimum this week because I'm waiting to see. Right? Confidence crossed. Faith to rely on yourself. Listen, there's a lot of challenging energy right now. Our ancestors been telling us for a minute, fall back, fall back, fall back, right? There has been this energy of like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Is this shit accurate? Right? And whatever is happening on the macro or on the world is also happening in our private lives in different aspects, right? Challenging relationships, people with opposing perspectives that may be holding court just for the sake of holding court, situations that seem inflexible, deadlines, bureaucracy, systems that systems that feel oppressive. Look, confidence and release, right? So I feel like Aries, Leo, Sag, there's very much a concentration about the serenity prayer, right? Like, and I don't know it specifically, like, but take charge of the things you can control and release the things you can't. Okay. All right. Thank you for the follow. Okay. So it's like big energy about try not to control those things that in reality don't mean shit to you in the grander scheme. Do not get involved with pissing matches. I've seen that recently with a couple of Aries friends of mine, and you know what happens? They're losing power in a sense because those aren't priorities right now. Those are almost tests to see if we're going to go back to fighting or standing on business for shit that either we shouldn't be standing on business for, or accept what you can change and what you can, and the wisdom to know the difference, right? And I probably read that wrong. Accept what you can change, accept what you can't change, what you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, thank you. Right? So then what ends up happening, if you're still letting people press your buttons for the power, the sake of power, the sake of getting the last word, right? He who laughs, laughs hardest. Like, there's this thing about, I got a big ego, right? I think for a lot of my Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, there was a time period, maybe the last 18 months, of getting out of your own way, of like not taking the bait, right? Of coming into a higher power. And how you do that is by not not trying to control that which is outside of you. Right? Because I feel like when the fire signs do that, it's mostly because they feel like they're lacking internal control. Okay, so that's what Spirit is talking about. Let's get you guys some tarot. Let's take a deeper look. Spirit. Can you show me, please? Thank you, Jessica. Can you show me, please? What is it that my fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius need to know right now, please. The Magician at the bottom of the deck. This is Aries energy. And this is the power that you wield within. This is also the first breath, the first thought of creation. This is also Ptah. This would be the right? This is the first idea. And the Magician, teaching you something right now, then goes on a walkabout to get those tools, that wand, the stick, the coin, right? To create that which was the first breath. Right? Spirit, show me. Y'all should follow Ptah. He's giving out lots of gems about connecting to earth frequency. Okay? Give him a follow. He does a live, I believe, every day out in the energy of earth. Okay, he's a fellow Taurian. Give him a follow. Okay. 8 of Cups. There's some traits. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. That you have declared that you're leaving behind you. Now, I feel like there's a mini test. Right? 10 toes down. I'm a big stepper, right? So, okay, so there's a test. Fire signs. It's going to look like 2, but it's really 1. It's a 2-part test. First test will be to see if you go back. I'm going back to Kelly, right? To see if you fucking go back and start, take on that pissing match. Take on that ego-driven argument for the sake of arguments where you will indubitably, right, end up in some type of loss for the game. So you might win the argument, lose the war. Right? And the second part will be something that is worth fighting for. And Spirit wants to know which one you're going to choose. Which one will you choose? I'm going to give you an example. A real accurate one. People are like a little bit up right now with their anxiety. Let's say you go to the supermarket, right? Fire sign. Thank you guys for the gifts. I greatly appreciate it. Let's say you go to the supermarket and you're in the parking lot and you about to pull in and somebody throws their cart and it hits your car. Signs, you already know you cut it loose. I know, and you know you cut it loose. Okay. But then, right? I mean, you got insurance, right? If the person tries to get away with it, you can go in the supermarket, be like, yo, I'm calling the cops. I want the tape. I'm going to show this person did that. It's not worth getting arrested when you're in the right. Okay? Like you're actually in the right. There's no need. It might feel, I'm not saying it's not warranted. That's why it's a test. That's exactly exactly why it's a test. Thank you, Mixed Beauty. It's a test to see if you can go about things in another manner. Okay? And then you choose the right way. Okay? You choose the right way. But later on, something worth fighting for, like your kid getting stopped in the wrong way, and you having to go up and turn up. Had you got arrested earlier that day, you couldn't defend your kid in the prox, in the next situation. So it feels like, because you don't you don't bite the bait, you actually get to be able to fight for something that matters. So pick your battles wisely. Look at choice at the bottom of the deck. Pick your battles wisely, fire signs, because there's something that's going to come, okay? And it's a two-part test, okay? One thing that is ego-driven, another thing that is worth fighting for, okay? Don't get 8 of Cups. Don't have to be pulled away from something that you love or that is important, right? Be there. Sometimes you have to know when to walk away to be there for love. That's what this is saying, right? And next week, right? This could be something at work and you're like, I ain't gonna turn up, because you know what? This weekend, something could pop off and I have to be there for my brethren. Okay? Hello, Mixed Beauty. You understand what I'm saying? King of Cups is here. Spirit, why is this here? Because there is, again, there could be Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, but there could be an authoritarian or father figure, or someone who's doing something out of their emotion. Okay? And it feels like you should hold back an 8 of Cups and walk away from that. Okay? Because somebody could be trying to bait you into a situation. Let's say, I'll give you another one. We had this whole DEI situation going on. Let's say that certain people had been let go of, but you're the most qualified in your office, but you're not the complexion for the protection, if you follow what I'm saying. And so they may try to taunt you because they're like, you know what? We don't got a valid reason, but we would like one. Can you act up? Right? So there's that. Okay? Don't make a choice, because there's time and place. Oh, thank you, my love. There's a time and place for everything. Okay? And the 5 of Swords and the 2 of Cups, because there's nothing but, listen, airspace and opportunity, baby. We gonna get there. So normally I do some readings for people that are in my Patreon, or once in a while I'll come on and do specific readings. But I promise you, Mixed Beauty, if you listen to your element, it will be a very precise reading, almost like it was personal for you. Okay? My guides are very, very accurate. I promise you. We just started. This is fire signs, and we haven't even done the other elements. Okay? So right here, there's going to be time. We know we can match energy. We know that there's a time for that. Listen, I have a stellium in Aries and I'm a Taurus, okay? I'll be with the shit, okay? I'm not even going to hold you, okay? But I also pick what's important. And the rest of the time, if you see me, you'll be like, the sweetest thing. She's the sweetest thing, right? but I do match energy. Don't play with me. Like, you understand? So there's a thing here about you learning when is important. I also feel like this isn't for you to be an ego. This is going to be for somebody you love. Like, you ain't playing. Okay? And that's a whole other thing. Okay? Don't play with me. 8 of Swords with the 6 of Wands, right? Because, you know, there's good trouble too. See right here? See, because you let this situation over here go that wasn't worth shit. You are here for the good trouble, for the thing that makes the difference. 8 of Swords with the 6 of Wands. Okay? But some things is worth getting into some good trouble for. All right? You got the 9 of Pentacles out here. What's good, Matt? You got the 9 of Pentacles out here, okay? With the Hermit and the 5 of Cups. Because the things that we lose sleep about, I'm telling you something that I know, I'm speaking from experience. You're not going to lose sleep about the pissing match that you didn't get, you know, that you didn't allow yourself to get dragged into. You know what you'll lose sleep about? The time you didn't stand up for something that was important, or that person who needed that, or those are the things, right? This is fire right now. Okay? That's when we right? 9 of Pentacles with the Hermit and the 5 of Cups, right? So even though we may be whole, I'm the 9 of Pentacles, Virgo energy, I'm the Hermit, right? I got what I need. But what is happening to humanity, I can't just sit back and watch that, right? I can't just sit back and watch my kid get thrown out of college or whatever. Do you understand? So there's something here that is not important, and you're going to recognize that. And then there's something here that you're like, hold on now. We ain't doing that though. We ain't doing that though. See, because there I got the smoke and the fire. Okay? Temperance. I was trying to be patient, but if you want to see about me, I can see about you. And we will be there. 9 of Wands is standing on business. You will find that you're not the only person who feels that way. Okay? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, the Empress. Look at the divine feminine. When you use that energy, fire signs, for the sake of others, that is your divine feminine speaking. And when you use that energy out of ego, that is when you are in your masculine frequency. I feel like your fire signs, you're being called to use that for the greater good right now. All right, that's what I have from my fire signs. Actually, let me clarify this judgment that was at the bottom of the deck. It'll be your final cards. Can you show me? With the devil. Ever dance with the devil at the pale moonlight? Okay. They about find out about you. Okay. Because then that's when it's worth getting into the old energy and showing them what you can do. And even sometimes that can even be healing, because there's some things that we're not going to fit in to do. Okay. I feel like that's what Spirit wants you to know. I want to show you one last thing. Happy birthday, April. I want to show you something. Do you see how there's a cemetery here and there's the souls here? Okay. I feel like the ancestors, this test, it has to do with like things that have tripped up your line before. Okay. And on a collective, the face-off that's coming is going to be multi-generational, multi-dimensional. And dare I say, intergalactical. And I'm going to leave that part there. Okay. So, earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Pull up. Let's get you guys a feminine wisdom. What is it that my Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn need to know right now, please? So, earth signs. I feel like there's been a situation where you're trying to have your harmony, peace, and balance. Okay, trying to be in your higher frequency. Thank you so much, Pata. Okay, trying to be in your higher frequency, trying to keep your internal peace. I mean, using the Taurus analogy, she's sitting in the field, right? Minding her business, not bothering nobody, right? What's good, Ozzy, right? And you've got forgiveness here. I feel like the reason why my earth signs are able to like have some ability to balance out their frequency right now is because they've done a lot of the internal work, releasing anger and resentment. Okay, they've done a lot of heart chakra. Look how she's holding her heart. Look how she's also has her hand by her heart. Okay, so there was a lot of heart chakra. And I had spoken about in the fire signs about this thing about emotional healing or what's the best way to put this? It's like some of the things that you have looked back on in the past about things that maybe run back in your mind. You recognize now a lot of the time we judge ourselves for the decisions we made when we have to look at what was available to us in the situation that we were in. And if we would have known better, we would have done better, right? I feel like this is the forgiveness that allows the harmony. I feel like there's people in your life or someone in your life, particularly now, more than one, possibly, that judges you or feels that what you are creating in the balance and in the harmony of your new world that you are making for yourself, that they feel like that might not be authentic or that might not be who you are, or they have another perspective of you and they might still be in another timeline or another dimension or I feel like the old you may have tried to convince them, may have tried to want to impose your perspective, your vision, your dimension, your timeline. Okay. The tablet died and it took me a second to get you guys back in. I apologize. Okay. Okay. So we're back. All right. So now this harmony and forgiveness, your ability to look back on the things that you went through in the past is the reason why you're creating this harmony. And it's why you have a newfound kindness. But this person or people does not, they're not seeing that. Because the perspective of the old version of you is what they are. They have not released that version to accept the new version. So whether they're seeing you up close and personal, whether they're seeing you online, on a social platform, I feel like why they're experiencing that is because spirit wants the feeling that they're having is to bring them to their own awakening. So you're being used in a sense as a tool. Okay. YouTube, are you able to see me now? Okay. So let's get you guys this tarot and move along here. Spirit. Queen of Cups. I think you're trying to heal with love. I think that you had to pour some love into yourself in that cup first, that you recognized that you had to take a step back from trying to prove or make others see you, right? Spirit. I think you felt for a large part of your life either manipulated or picked on, bullied, or something. You may not have recognized a particular aura that you were walking with. I was talking about in the general energy, the rainbow aura, right? And this might have felt like persecution, but it was all part of your awakening and your ability to not try again, back to the serenity prayer. Control the things you can, to recognize the things you can, and to know the difference, right? Or something like that. Okay. And I think that as long as you were trying to prove your innocence, if you have a 2-ton or a ton, I don't know how much a bull weighs, probably somewhere between 500 and 1,000 pounds, 500 and 1,000 pounds. And that shit is charging at you, even if it's trying to explain something nice. I bet you're gonna move. I bet you're gonna move pretty damn fast, and you're not gonna wait around to see what that bull is talking about. What you talking about? I ain't talking about nothing. What you talking about? I ain't talking about nothing. Okay? Just trying to say, right? So all that time that you was trying to explain to people in the 2000s, okay, so a ton, a pound, you know what I'm saying? Who gonna try? Ain't nobody waiting for that explanation. Earth sign, when they feel that energy coming, right? So you trying to although it may have been in earnest, right? People always ran. Move, bitch, get out the way, right? So look at, oh, what is that? Just saying. Spirit, why is this 5 of Swords here? So it's like you saying, you charging down and saying, listen, you're not seeing me right. But they're like, are you sure? Right? You scary as hell. Using it as an example. Right? You got the King of Cups. Okay, same King of Cups that was in the Aries reading, or I should say the fire sign reading, right? And what is this saying? You know, there have been, you know, systems. Let's use the King of Cups in this. Actually, you can say it in both fire sign and earth sign reading, right? That this would be the system, or like patriarchy, right? And using people's emotionality, because it's like a father figure, right? As soon as I said that word, right? The father figure, right? And our ability to maybe heal the daddy wounds, to heal the triggers, gives us freedom. Yeah, it gives us freedom from those structures, right? And the ability to see, like, oh, I have been, what's good, sunshine is my therapy. I have been suppressed or repressed or oppressed by a system that was not created by me. It doesn't even represent who I am now. And the storyline of the past, or how you, whether this is someone you know personally, a larger system, how you weaponized my triggers against me, right? How I allowed those things that were placed in me as seeds to be like mines, right? You know how they do in wars, where they will put it, what's good, Willie One Eye, when they put, like, let's say little bombs in the field, and then, you know, in wartime somebody would step on it and it would cause, you know, destruction, right? So it's like these things that are placed inside of us, and then that could be weaponized later. And when we go back and we allow ourselves to do the healing, right? That frees us from those it frees us from the chains, or from those weapons. Okay, you have the star here, right? So earth signs, the only way you were able to extricate that energy from your life and create harmony was because you had to face your internal demons. I feel like that was very hard for you. You could still be facing some residual energy on that front that is making you see like where you had to change to be in alignment with the frequency that you are versus the frequency that others labeled you with, and where you had to face that you allowed yourself to become that. Okay? And so by making room for you to face that, that's how you overcome it. So it's like having to look, and like if you're mad at your dad for, you know, some things that may feel like they're systematic, where was that living in you, right? How does that show up in your life in a whole other way that you needed to extricate that from yourself to be able to recognize it, right? Or to be able to heal it. Now you got the Eight of Swords here, okay, Spirit. I feel like this Eight of Swords is people expecting you to play the game that they orchestrated for you, or maybe they didn't orchestrate the system for you. Maybe they're a participant in the broader system. Okay, male or female. Let's say you have a daddy issue. You marry somebody just like your dad. That person didn't do it, but they still are a representation of something that you need to work on. And just because they didn't do it doesn't mean that they don't need to extricate that from themselves. That doesn't mean that it's your job, but two things could be true at the same time, right? So you have the Eight of Swords here. I feel like somebody wants you to be what they saw in you, or what they see in the mirror, in the version of you that they have in their perception and in their dimension and in their timeline. And the Page of Wands, this is probably a version of you that was more impulsive, more bull driven, more trying to show yourself, earth signs, to be reliable, to be loving, to be right. But somebody was running I'm going to show both cameras, was running from themselves, so they wanted to label you as the devil in their story. Okay, and you running after them trying to prove your innocence was basically like a reoccurring theme. Okay, and with this Six of Cups, like the only way for you to release that is to let go of a story of you that is imposed on you, not one that you created. Okay, and with this Page of Pentacles here, I feel like there's an opportunity, right? I feel like you already have stepped away from that timeline, that story, but the fact that you refuse to play the part for someone else is like heartbreaking to them, heartbreaking to you, because it's as if they only want to see a version of you that is painful, or that causes pain, or that is in pain, or has something to do with pain. Okay? And because of that, it's like saying, you only love me when I'm broken, or the you love the broken part of me, or you created that brokenness in me and you can't allow me to grow past it. It's something like that. And maybe part of this, like let's say this is a child, right? Maybe part of this is having to say, you know, I may not have been that then, or as available, or something like that, but it doesn't mean that I'm not available now. It can be the lens in which somebody chooses. They are making the choice. Okay, Three of Swords. Why is that? Five of Wands, because they have an internal conflict with that. Okay. And you have to either, you know, say maybe your portion, right? I want to get past this conflict, or right, but you can't force them to release it, and either they will or they won't, they do or they don't. But be careful to not let somebody else's vision of you taint the new version of yourself that you're building, because it makes them comfortable to see you in your old frequency. Okay? Don't return to a version of you that doesn't light you up so someone else can be comfortable. Two of Wands. Spirit, why? Because you made a choice, earth signs, to go after a new version, build a new part of yourself. And it's time to stand on business. And somebody else wants to twist what that is because it makes them feel better about keeping you out of a situation. Let them live in the timeline that they want to live in. Most often you'll find that people do that because it has something to do with something they've told themselves. And to see other people live in their truth, right, feels like a lie to them. Okay? But it may be that they're not willing to accept something. Okay? We can have open arms. We can't make people accept them. And that's part of the lesson that you already learned. Now, can you stand the rain? Right? Because you've always had the tools to fix something. The problem was that you were running after people trying to show what you were capable of. And that always made people run away in the other direction. Right? So, because if you chase something, then it instinctually runs, right? So this is like you having to recognize that if you're the magician and you have the tools, you have to hold back and allow somebody else to be ready to accept your magic, to accept the magical version of you, to see you as they are, right? But they have that choice, the Two of Pentacles. And that may be very hard. That's the triggering part for the earth signs, because they want to prove something. And that's what you have to stop doing. You see, Nine of Cups. It will lead to your wish fulfillment. And it will also let you know that people are with you and for you for the truth and your authenticity, and not because you had to forcibly show them that they were mislabeling you or something to do with that. Okay, so I feel like that's what I have for my earth signs. We are gonna go to air. Sorry, air signs is next. Trying to go in order of the chart. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, pull up. We're going to get a feminine wisdom for you guys. Spirit, can you tell me? You're welcome. Libra. Spirit, can you show me, please, what does Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius need to know right now what's good. The DSTV. Spirit, can you show me? Can you show me, please? So it looks like the scales may be out of balance a little bit, okay? But this is for all the air signs, okay? This is also number 22, okay? It's important for the air signs. Try to get even 3 minutes of stillness in the morning. You got to set your alarm early. Set your alarm early. If you're a coffee drinker, a tea drinker, I don't care. Even if you're doing it while you are having your morning tea, your morning coffee, sit down in a place that feels calm in your home. If you do not have that, create it. Sit down. If you got to set it so that you're the first one up in your house, do that. Okay, it says here, spiritual and physical steadiness. I feel like all the changes that are happening outside of us are affecting you, okay? It feels like, and this could be the mercurial energy of the Gemini, but it feels like a tuning fork, like you're picking up a lot of what is happening outside of you, okay? The guidance, okay? Your mind might be changing a lot because you're constantly adjusting to the frequency. Oh, what should I do? Oh, okay. What should I do now? What should I do? Right? Because the wind is always changing its direction. It feels very much like you feel a little like rudderless or like you may also feel like other people's energy around you is like shifting, changing quickly. Like, what the hell? Okay, so we're going to take some tarot. We're going to take a look, but I feel like the winds of change, Spirit. Okay, the full flower. Hi, honey. I'm actually doing air signs right now. So the bottom of the deck is the Emperor. You could be trying to build your power right now, coming into power, trying to stabilize power, trying to stabilize work, career versus family life. But there's something that is like out of balance. You may feel like you want or need guidance. Spirit, can you show me? Got the Nine of Pentacles out here. So there's self-sufficiency. I feel like you have seen some things go your way recently. Listen, for every element, the King of Cups has come out. And I feel like this has very much to do with systems, right? Of certain structures that play on emotion, whether these are family traumas, bureaucracy traumas, you know, things that are done in systems to oppress, right? So on the macro and the micro, okay? And this, what is happening on the collective scale could be triggering both in personal ways and on the greater scale. This also can be like discovering people close to you and their visions or their perceptions of the timeline that they're in and how they're coping. And this could be why you feel like the air is shifting or how things don't feel like 1 minute you could be thinking one way, and then the next minute the energy of somebody else shifts that, because it's like being like the tuning fork, like I said. Okay, now you have the 10 of Pentacles out here, it's coming out slightly crossed, and then you have here the 6 of Swords in reverse. I feel like there's some kind of thing that makes you feel trapped. Oh Lord, I'm trapped like a fool. I'm in, like, there's new beginnings, and it feels like there's new opportunities, but you might feel limited as to what can be done, or that there's obstacles to achieving these things. So we're going to take a look. You also have the Empress out here in reverse. Whatever it is that you feel out of balance about, or that you feel you need guidance about, is making you insecure in your feminine energy, male or female. Okay, that's your divine intuitive energy. Nine of Pentacles, Spirit, why? 7 of Pentacles comes out to that. There could be a way that you're seeing something, and you could be trying to explain this to a partner, a family member, a boss, any kind of situation like that. Could be a male, doesn't have to be. About why something is the way it is, or why certain actions need to be taken, and how collaborating together in a particular fashion is for the greater good, or to have patience or timing. And the Queen of Pentacles is here. Now let me say, there also could be something here about you determining whether or not a union is for the greater good, because there could be something about not seeing on the same page. And this could have to do with your own traumas, as well as someone else's traumas, and how you envision curing those traumas or moving past them, what structures of family look like. And now that we have all this situation going on, this could very much be like how people might see differently what needs to be done in certain situations. There could be disagreements about that, or what is considered to be problematic. Why is this King of Cups here? Again, Spirit. Somebody could feel, what's good, Lady Artistry? Thank you for following. Regina, somebody could feel like, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Everything is going to equal out, okay? 3 of Wands. In the future, everything will be fine, but they may not feel concerned. You may be more concerned about stability, or you may be more concerned about, I'm going to give you another one, because I could see this in a couple of different situations. Let's say that there's a leveling up happening here. And there could be a thing of like, where is this relationship going? Are we both pulling in the same direction? Are we both on the same timeline? This person could be saying, we have plenty of time for that. You might feel differently, male or female. 10 of Pentacles. Maybe you are trying to family, generational wealth, and legacy, establish something. Spirit, why is the, okay, thank you. You got the Lovers out here, the 2 of Pentacles and the Emperor. I feel like you don't want to build sandcastles in the sky, air signs. I also feel like there's a part of you that wants to have an escape route or a backup plan. I will say, okay, being a Libra moon, you can have 10 backup plans. Life usually gives you something you're not necessarily prepared for wholly. I will say that stay true to that which feels authentic to who you are now. You have the Lovers. This is Gemini energy, the Two of Pentacles, and the Emperor coming out to the Ten of Pentacles. You may also be thinking like, I don't want to keep building a legacy with something, or like we in or we out, like what we doing? Because I'm the boss that pays the cost of the Seven of Cups. Like I don't want to be an illusion or some shit like that. Okay. Spirit, can you show me why is this Six of Swords? Now also, listen, this could be like you're getting a job that puts a leveling up. Level up, level up, level up, right? But maybe you got to move, or maybe like it's something. And it's like, what we doing? Or how does this work? Or is this working? Or where's this going? Or something. Okay. I feel like there's something, me itching. There's something here with the moon and the Six of Swords in reverse. It's like you can't get, maybe you saw something that made you had a realization, or there's something that is very important to you about how, you know, the progression of the timeline or the commitment or the opportunity or it's something about what you really feel, need, want from a situation that makes you determine whether you can still move forward in that direction. I feel like if this is a long-term partnership, this could be something that's coming big into your life, and your partner, right, either will be supportive or not, but how they're supportive of you could be very much telling about where the level of commitment is. Okay. It also could tell you about how you deeply feel, or maybe the things that you have felt that you didn't necessarily admit to yourself. Okay. You got the Four of Wands out here. Spirit, why is the Four of Wands out here for air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You got the Four of Wands is coming out with the Nine of Wands. Okay. I feel like you have strong perceptions about what peace and harmony would represent in your inner sanctum, or in your home, or in your closest bubble. You may hold that sacred. I feel like you may feel that there is somebody who is opposed to that which is most important to you. Okay. Or like they're resistant to the vision, or Three of Swords. This person may be resistant without recognizing that they're resistant. Like they might be like, no, because I don't do that, da. But it could have very much to do with how they were raised, what they think. What's good, Pink Petal Magic, right? What they think the roles should be, right? I feel like you trying to either conform, explain, be patient, whatever. It's stagnating. Something about your own creativity, your own self-worth, your own abundance, your own feeling magical, your own, right? And maybe you thought that it was like you could be trying to figure out, is this me that I'm like not really sure of myself or my energy? Am I like in a slump? Is it this person in my sphere? Is it them? Right? The Two of Swords. Maybe you couldn't see that, or maybe you're recognizing that they can't see that this is something you like. You could be figuring out, oh no, I really do need somebody who makes me feel peaceful. I really do need somebody who can communicate and understand that, the energy, we have to be on the same page because this is what we're trying to create as a unit, right? Especially if it has to do with children, birthing, a pregnancy, something like that. And I feel like that, I think you're going to stand on business with that. You got the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. High Priestess is here. Let's clarify what choice you're going to make, Spirit. I feel like up to this point, you might have held this information. You might have mentioned it. You might have tried to have some roundabout conversations. I feel like you wasn't wholly standing on business. I feel like you was trying to communicate something. I feel like you're getting to the point now where you are feeling a little stronger about that. All right. You might have shored up some financial situations, but I feel like you are now wanting stability. And wherever that does not feel secure, you're going to leave it. You're going to leave it. And even if somebody feels like you betrayed them or you didn't tell them that it's not really true. You were trying to communicate it. Okay. But it's like you have to be your authentic self, and somebody may feel that you are misguided or that you're doing it to manipulate them, or right. But it's also about something that they continuously do, and it has something to do with the traumas of their situations. You have your own traumas, not saying you don't, but I feel like in this situation, it has something to do with what makes you feel peace. And I feel like in the beginning of this video, I was saying that what was important to the collective 6 months ago doesn't even matter anymore. Right? So in these new revelations of what is important and what we value, what it seems that you're valuing is a peace and serenity in your own home or in your environment, in your personal connections. And I feel like somebody may not be wholly, like they may stand on business for the sake of standing on a position and may not really understand that it's not a request. Okay. And that is what I have for my air signs. Okay, water signs, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, pull up. If you have missed your element, you can always go to YouTube where it is always recorded, and you can find it there. My channel is by the same name. I suggest you follow that anyway, okay? Because you never know what can happen on TikTok, okay? And follow me if this is the type of content, this is for mature audiences, okay? We get to the real healing around here. What's the rage? We get to the real business around here, okay? And if that's what you want to do, and you want to really look in the dark places so you can free yourself, free your mind, right? This is the channel, all right? To understand about, creating your authenticity. And that might not always be in alignment with everybody. And that sometimes is hard, okay? Sometimes that's very difficult, okay? Because, instinctually, even good people will want you to be who you used to be. They'll want that. right? Because sometimes it's easier than getting to know the new version of you, right? And it may require themselves to know some new things about themselves too, right? Peace, okay? Water signs, tranquility and acceptance, okay? And then you have determination, intention to achieve. There was something. Okay, water signs. There could have been something, situationships. What's good, unicorn? Something here about what you thought you wanted, what you thought you needed to feel peaceful, to feel validated, to feel wanted. That could have been a relationship. That could have been like a lifestyle, right? But I feel like you've had a re-evaluation of that. Okay, you have determination, intention to achieve. I feel like you are trying to achieve. Like now you know what it is and you don't want to settle for less. Okay, it's like you can't unsee it. Okay, you got the 8 and the 10. All right, now here's the solitude. Before, where the solitude was a like a bad word, okay, something you didn't want because it would make you feel the absence of what you might have felt you were lacking or what you had underdeveloped in yourself. And then now, right, in the appreciation of like and the acceptance of like what it is that you truly do desire, you're completely okay with the solitude. Withdrawal from society, right? Peace, determination, withdraw from society. I'm here to tell you something, water signs. You're coming into a reemergence. Okay, you may not know that it's time in some way, and it may not be in all circles. Okay, but there's something that you're going to be stepping into that requires you to either step out of the bubble or allow something in the bubble. As a Cancer, you feel this? Okay, let's take it. Okay, this is allowing something in the bubble or stepping out of the bubble. Like, I feel like for some time you have been secluded in a sense, even around others. It was like a protective space for you, Ace of Cups, to explore what's the meaning of life. Like, what's your true north? What does love really mean to you? What does it represent? What's the definition of love? How should it be expressed? Have the expressions of love that you've received been true and in alignment with your love language? Like, there's this whole examination thing happening. Spirit, why is the peace card here? Well, I should say I did that already. Spirit, can you show me what you have for Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, please? Can you show me? Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, please. You have the 8 of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups. I feel like there's things that you have been working towards, okay? And now with the 5 of Cups, you might have had a mourning period for that which was not feeding you or that which you had to fight with, and the 9 of Cups, and this was the exploration of what would really make you happy, and you could have came across this in an accidental way, okay, in that solitude, in that hermit frequency, okay, and now it's like some type of awakening or something. You have the Temperance card, you got the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This is the only reading that the King of Cups did not come out in. Underneath that, the Queen of Swords. Okay, you are doing some balancing between the two sides of you. I feel like for you to heal Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, you had to get out, you had to detach in some way and see something for what it was, the truth of the situation. I think something cost you something. I also feel like the systems, right, that were created like masculine systems, okay? So family systems, work systems, like, you know, across the board. I'm trying to, you know, phrase things, you know, right? And the justice card is there, and this is also like you like having to make your own justice, okay? But the only way you could do that was by seeing shit for what it was, getting out of the heart space to heal the heart space. And I could see that because water signs, y'all live in your water energy, right? So to be able to heal that, it's like you had to detach from that to be able to see something in a more honest reflection of a situation. Okay, so it feels like you were too close to something to see something for what it was. Now, if you are a feminine and this was a relationship that you felt was domineering through a masculine, they could have been things that this masculine energy doesn't have to be a physical masculine. If you're following what I'm saying, was cutting away things or versions of you and your feminine energy as a method of control. This could also been support systems of femininity that were being cut away. Okay, sister, mother, friend. 8 of Pentacles comes out with the 4 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. I feel like there was something, okay, there might have been a lot of losses, okay, you see all these heads here, but I feel like something was too far, okay, could have took something that felt like a limb. I want to show each camera individually. See, that's her arm, okay, so there was something that you relied upon heavily. This person took it. I feel like you may have healed from it in a sense, but now you recognize that the cost was too much and that this person causes like illusions or something like that. And the 8 of Cups, okay, so I feel like there's a mental leaving of something that is occurring first. It's this 5 of Cups. It's coming to realizations, crying over the spilled milk, the mourning. Your grief is sacred. Spirit, can you show me the 5 of Cups? Why is that here, please? 5 of Cups, come, there he goes. And he's appeared in all. The King of Cups, okay, with the 8 of Pentacles. I'm not saying that the King of Cups is bad. I'm just saying that in this reading today, the King of Cups has come into all readings using some sense of emotional trauma for control. I'm not saying that this is a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. I'm talking about a particular archetype, right? The King of Cups is the father figure. He's the quintessential father, or he could be the quintessential figure of structure. I don't want to use the word because they flagged it twice. Right? But it's a male system. Right? And I feel like with this King of Cups and this 5 of Cups and the 8 of Pentacles, I feel like you try to, I said it felt like the arm was removed, right? So you've tried to continue working on something with someone without something that was vital to you. I feel like now something inside of you is recognizing that there is that what you're fighting against is ambition drive, like this person's need or this system's need for control and the conflict that it causes, and that maybe the structure or that the way this person operates is also how the overall system operates, and that it's very oppressive, as above so below, if you're understanding what I'm saying. In the Nine of Cups, I feel like you spend a lot of time in the tub or around water or something, but it's fantasizing, dreaming, meditating, and that is a form of manifestation about what it is that would really make you happy. I feel like this person jamming a truth on you, or their truth, or their version, or their timeline, or their situation, or their method onto you, that was very oppressive, restrictive, has only facilitated you seeing the truth about something in a more rapid fashion. Why is this Nine of Cups here, please? Can you show me? So what was meant to keep you in a situation is actually causing you to see something else, okay? Nine of Cups with the Seven of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, okay? So it's like now, the Seven of Cups is about delusion or not knowing which cup to choose. And the Queen of Pentacles is the quintessential spouse. So this could be like, I thought that I needed to be somebody's, male or female, spouse to be happy. Right? So we can walk together and be the couple thing and do the Facebook post. But in reality, I have a new perspective with the Fool and the Hangman here. Like, there could be some high prices to pay to stay in proximity with somebody who could be never satisfied with all of the sacrifices. Okay, Temperance, Spirit, because I feel like you've sacrificed a lot. Spirit, can you show me what is Temperance with, I feel like you have, okay, the Temperance card is like the reunited and it feels so good, right? I feel like you have given up a lot to be in proximity. I feel like you've been patient. I feel like you've been kind. I feel like you've tried to grow through things. And I feel like the Knight of Wands, it's always disruptive. It's always like menacing. This person is not appeased. Okay, so I'm going to give you two examples. Let's say that you are in a long-term relationship with somebody who has separated you from a lot of things in the name of control, and then made you think that that was the way it should be. Or conversely, you could have been wanting a relationship, and then when a relationship comes, you're like, this is why I'm single. Like, it's a new appreciation of what it is that you really want, or what it is you have to do. Okay, the Knight of Swords, I feel like the only thing, water signs, is that you suppressing how you feel now that you've had time to detach from something and see it for what it is. You might be a little bit afraid to step back into your feelings because then the situation has to be resolved. That's what it feels like. Okay, let's look at this Queen of Cups and this Queen of Swords and the Justice card that was at the bottom of the deck, because I feel drawn to them. Why is this Queen of Cups here for Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio? Can you show me, please? With the Star. There's something that's making you having to rise from something. Could be somebody with a heavy Aquarian energy. Okay, but this also could be like, this was kind of destined for you to happen so that you would have to take a look at oneself. I'm going to show you something. Let me just pull the cards. And the Justice card, can you show me? That way we can just do it all in one shot. Okay, okay, okay. Hell yeah. Okay, so over here, you got the Queen of Cups with the Star card, okay? This was all happening, okay, so that you would have to take a look in the water. Do you see in the water? She's looking at herself and the things that she has compromised, male or female, for where she is. I said to you guys in the beginning, you know, like 6 months ago, what was important to us is no longer important, right? So this is like you looking at the sacrifices that I made to sit in the spaces or places, right? You may or may not feel like they're worthy. Okay. And this could be also you creating the solitude in the space that you wanted. And now somebody could be coming in and it's like, do I want that in my space? Because, right. So that could be read both ways. Now you also have here the Queen of Swords. I feel like once you stand on business and you became the Queen of Swords and was detached and ready to slay the demons or the things that maybe changes I've been going through, because I want to be with you, right? And recognizing what parts were having to do with your own insecurities and detaching from that and stepping out of the emotional bag, right? Has somebody outside of you wanting to play nice or wanting to make some effort, okay? Wanting to court, wanting to, you know, give you of the cup. But now the truth is you see them for what it is, as a knight, right? And where was that passion before when I needed it? Where was that passion before? When I needed you to be kind for kind's sake. Where was that compassion before when you separated me from the things, places, people, support systems? Here's the Justice card. I feel like you are wielding that big ass sword for what will feel true to you, authentic to you. I feel like you're slaying your demons. I feel like you're cutting away things that you feel are no longer in alignment with you. I feel like that's your personal truth and you're standing on it. I feel like somebody has to live with the shorts that they gave you or the betrayals. You have to live with them too, because you're looking at what you gave up to stay in something that was not healthy, or right? And maybe that's what you were doing in your solitude, whether that's being alone in a relationship or alone in solitude. There was something about going within to like really deal with something and know your own truth. I feel like somebody is going to say that you're unfair to them and how could you do this, and that maybe all you want is the money and da 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 da. But in reality, you know, male or female, this is a husband. This could be like a settlement of a divorce or something like that, right? But this person had a choice with the Lover's card. Okay, they had a choice. Okay, and I feel like you had a choice too. Okay, I feel like your choice led you to believe in love for love's sake. I feel like you might have lost some things because somebody was insecure and they wanted to isolate you. And I feel like you are recognizing that now. And once you detached, somebody, you know, recognize that you're aware of it. And now they may want to change that, but it might be too late because you can't unsee what you saw. And now you want a level of peace that you can create for yourself. And either this person will have to watch you from a distance, or they will have to accept what you're willing to give rather than ask you what you're willing to sacrifice for them. All right, that's what I have for my water signs. I will be back tomorrow. I don't know what time. There's a lot going on right now. I'm gonna be jumping in and out as much as I can. If you do not follow me, please do follow me. Please do follow me on TikTok and YouTube. It would be greatly appreciated. As you see, I'm not out here asking for no money. I just asked for the support. All right, I'm wishing you all light and love and blessings on blessings. Bye, guys.